And hopefully we'll get... I mean, these queues have been really crappy. So apparently we missed the boat. Being away from this character for a couple weeks. Looks like most people got their Grand Marshal. There's so many fewer people queuing for Ultron Valley. The queue times are longer, and the matches are lasting longer. So getting honor right now has been a lot more difficult than it was a couple weeks ago, which really sucks. What's up, gamer? I was just saying that getting honor right now on my hunter is a lot more difficult than it was a couple weeks ago, which is frustrating because I'm at the point where I've got to get 500,000 honor before next week, and it's just been incredibly slow. Been waiting like 3-4 minutes for the games, and the games have been lasting like way longer. We're not having those like 5-6 minute games. They're like 15-20 minute games. I'd say I'm getting about 1/3 the honor I was getting before. It's like, so it's really bad. Really bad. So I made myself a big old pot of coffee. Looks like we're in for the night. Yeah. It's definitely not as many people queuing up. It's not even that late yet. It's only like, what, 10 o'clock? It's like 10:30. A couple weeks ago at 10:30, there'd be like, probably 3 times as many people here at least. There'd be way more people. You can see I've already been in the queue like a minute. And like when I was queuing 2 weeks ago, the queues were popping off in like literally like 10 seconds. Like I'd queue and it'd pop in like 10-20 seconds tops. Now it's like 2-3 minutes, so that alone, adds up. When every time you got a queue, it just adds up, man. What's up, boss? I know, dude. Grats, man. I was tempted to take some profits today, but I didn't. In fact, I'm thinking about buying Bitcoin, but I'm like kind of waiting because people have to take profits, so it's got to drop, right? It has to drop. I keep thinking it's going to drop down to like 102 or 103. I mean, it's at almost... Shit, dude, it's still going up. It's almost at 111. It just hit 111. Holy shnikes. It just hit 111. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I would have had more cash to buy. I upped my DCA last week. I was DCAing just like, I think at one point I was doing like 50 bucks a week, and then finances were hitting me hard, so I scaled it back to 20 bucks a week. Now I've upped it back up to, I think I'm back up to like 70 or 80 a week I'm buying. But I want to push it up to 100 a week. My new job, I got a job increase, right? I got a raise at my work. So my new increase hits my paycheck I think next month. So I may up my weekly buy to like I may up to like 200 a week.
You're in trouble now.
Yeah, if it goes up, yeah, George was talking about that earlier. If it goes up as much as people think it could, the alts are gonna go up like crazy. I thought about buying some guitars just as investments, just taking some of the money, like take some profits and then start sinking some money into some guitars that I wanted to get, just as ones that I know will go up in value, but they're not going to go up in value as fast as Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, my goal is to get, before I retire, I would like to have at least 3 Bitcoin, because I figure by the time I retire, I think Bitcoin will be, pretty close to $1 million. That's what I'm hoping, or at least, be at least I think it'll be to $1 million by the time I retire. Or it's going to be pretty close to it. Because that's what, 10 years from now? How much has it gone up in the past year? Like 100% at least? I mean, year to date it's up 18, but over just a year it's 58%. So you figure it goes up like 58% a year. That's not that good. That wouldn't reach $1 million. You think $1 million by 2030? What is it? It's 2025. That's only 5 years away, dude. I'm planning on retiring, and I'm hoping to retire in like 33 maybe. So my thing is, I think it'll be $1 million by 33 for sure. So if I tried to do the math, and I figured if I got $3 million when I retire, that should hopefully be enough money, you know, based on, you know, and I'm not counting on my, you know, my 401k or any of that bullshit. I'll still have that money too, but I'm just talking about pure Bitcoin, just pure cryptocurrency. If I can just get 3 Bitcoin by the time I retire, I think I'll be okay. That's the goal anyway. Yeah, that sucks, dude. World Boss, Ashenvale Layer 3. I'm kind of busy. Now see, don't flag this, man. Don't flag that shit. I just can't believe, I mean, it's getting bad, dude. Ah, the fear. Holy shit. I'm fucked. Healing potion! Healing potion! I don't have a healing potion. Do I not have a fucking healing potion? Well, I guess I used one. Didn't feel like I did it? That guy, like, just, I don't know what damage he did, but that was insane. Oh yeah, healing potion healed me for 350. Wow, that's... He must have had Mortal Strike on me. Even so, that's shitty healing. Oh, his retaliation hit me for multiple attacks. His sword specialization granted him extra attacks. Jesus. That guy just crushed me. Surprised he popped retaliation on me though, but it worked out well for him. It will give you a stencil trigger point injection. Oh, stem cell. Dude, that sounds serious, man. If you're getting stem cell treatments, that's your spine, right? They're trying to heal your spine? Is that? I'm sorry, my memory's terrible. You have the spine problem, right? In your back? I think that's what you were saying, right? Really bad muscle tension. But isn't stem cells for like nerves? Is it nerves or shit? Now you're gonna make me Google it. It's immune support supplement, medical treatment that uses stem cells to repair or replace. Is it damaged disease tissue or organs? Okay. Can be for anything. I thought it was more specific for like nerves or I guess, but it sounds like it can be for anything.
What's on your mind?
Dude, that sounds so painful. That sounds like way too painful. Yeah. I wonder why. So it sounds like you probably have some sort of a nervous disorder where it's causing your muscles to constantly flex or something. It sounds like you have a problem with your nerve. Something's like the impulses to your brain is causing your muscles to flex when they're not supposed to or something. Have you done acupuncture? I would imagine acupuncture could be helpful for that. They don't know. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like your brain's like some impulses to your brain are fucked up. You've done acupuncture. You should also look into the dry needling. Yeah, you should also look into Shaolin monks, man. And I know it sounds funny, but dude, see if you can find yourself some sort of a Shaolin monk master. I'm not even joking, dude. See if there's anybody. I don't know if you're in a big city anywhere, man. I would seriously look for like some sort of a Shaolin monk master who's got, because there's a few around that supposedly can tap into the muscle system and they can help with certain things like that. You spend it to 40K. So yeah, if you set 40K in physiotherapy, I think it'd be worth it to fly yourself to a Shaolin monk temple. I mean, it sounds funny, but I'm serious. I am dead serious. I don't know. I don't think a hypnotist would help. I mean, a hypnotist I think would only help if the issue that's causing your problems was mental, where they're like trying to unlock some sort of hidden thing in your psyche that's causing the problem. To me, sounds like it's communications to your brain that's like your nerves or something, or because if your muscles are tight and they won't release, something must be causing them to constrict. And if it's not electrical, like being via your brain, then it would have to be some sort of weird, I don't know, some sort of a weird muscle problem. And if it was a muscle problem, I think there'd be some sort of treatment that could cause your muscles to relax. But if it's like an electrical problem with your brain, you know, I mean, how do you stop your brain from incorrectly communicating? That's something else entirely. Man, that warrior kicked him. I couldn't believe how hard that warrior hit me. That was like insane damage. He hit me for 734 critical. Hit me for 383, no big deal. But then he hit me for another 798. And then he had that retaliation, which hit me for 900. And then his execute hit me for 7. Man, this is crazy. Yeah, I knew they were going to do that for you. I knew they were going to do that. I mean, you know they're going to be like muscle relaxers and anxiety pills. Anything to make your body relax. Because if it's... They see the muscle issues and they're just going to be like prescribing anything they think they can to make your muscles relax, which is going to be like all kinds of shit. They probably want to do like electrical treatments next and like zap you in the brain or something. You're going to have to send you to Gotham, to Arkham. I know, I knew they would. Yeah, I figured they would. Electrical pad. That's not gonna work. If anything, I would think that would make it worse. I would think anything that would send electrical shocks to your body would make it worse. That's why I'm thinking you need a... I'm telling you, man. I would look into some sort of a Shaolin healer. Or some sort of a, you know, kind of holistic healer. Regular medical science can only go so far. Cut the damn thing and sew it back together. Yikes! Cut the muscle. That's awful. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, I can understand if you're in a lot of pain. I probably would almost feel the same way. Chairbound. I guess that's probably why you play a lot of video games, though. If you're chairbound, you can't really do anything. Dude, you're depressing me. I feel sorry. I feel bad for you, man. That's just terrible. I'm not chairbound, but excuse me. But I feel like I've been chairbound. I feel like I've been lethargic and lazy last few years, mostly just because of stress, you know. Stress can be debilitating. I've got to fast, man. I've got to go start doing some fasting, man. It's just so hard, man. It's when you get older, it's harder to fast because like when you're younger and you get hungry and you don't eat, like your body doesn't seem to get affected as much. You just feel hungry and you're like your stomach's growling and you're like really hungry. But when you get older, like maybe because I'm out of shape, right? But when you get older and you get hungry, like you get weak. Like if I don't eat for like 12 hours, I start to feel like sick. You know what I mean? Or I get like really dizzy. I wasn't like that when I was younger. I could go days. I could probably go like a day and a half without eating, 2 days, and I'd just be fucking hungry. But now if I go like even 12 hours without eating, I feel like I'm getting dizzy. I think that's just... Yeah, does it? Okay. Yeah. He doesn't need my help. He definitely doesn't need my help. Yeah, fasting while eating, yeah. Yeah, I probably should do that. I'm not a big fan of the whole whatever, but... Yeah, well, that's the biggest problem is, you know, I drink coffee almost every day, which has sugar in it. So I add sugar to my coffee. I can't drink black coffee. It's just too bitter. And then, you know, I like to have a couple Cokes, a couple Mexican Cokes. So that's my biggest... Those are my two, you know, biggest vices. It's just, you know, coffee and a Coca-Cola. For dinner, I had nachos without meat. I had veggie nachos. Basically, I just took a bunch of low-sodium chips, threw them in a bowl, threw some cheese on it, some lettuce, some sour cream, you know, some black olives. That was my dinner. It was good, though. Well, I might melted the cheese on the chips first, but... And then tossed lettuce and black olives. And alright, what do we got going on here? This poor troll just keeps getting killed. That poor rogue just keeps getting killed. Do you like the black coffee? I can't do the... I mean, I can drink black coffee, but I don't prefer it.
What can I do for you?
You know, I add honey to my coffee because everybody should have a tablespoon of honey every day. I'm a firm believer in that. So I add a tablespoon of honey. I add a little bit of sugar, of just sugar in the raw, you know, natural cane sugar. And that's it. And then I drink it. Yeah, coffee's not... Some coffees, that's true. Some coffee drinking, you know, drank. Some coffee drank black. How do you say that? Some coffee, if you drink it black, is not really good for you. It's not good for your stomach, yeah. Currently, I was drinking Cargos' coffee for a while, but I haven't bought any of that recently. Now I'm just drinking... I'm going to my old standby, which is just Dunkin' Donuts, the medium roast. You know, I buy the beans and then I just grind them up in my grinder. Kicking Horse Grizzly Claw. I'm sure I probably could off Amazon or something. Seeing is your fault. Kicking Horse Coffee. Kicking Horse Coffee. Yeah, it looks like they got it on Amazon. Best black coffee? Well, they have so many different kinds. There's Kicking... I would not get the dark roast. You said Grizzly Claw... Okay, well, they got a bunch on Amazon. They've got... I just don't want the dark roast. Here, medium roast. Well, this is the Three Sisters Kicking Horse, so it's not that one. Let's see... The Grizzly Claw, dark roast, Grizzly Claw... I don't see a. What I'm looking for is a Grizzly Claw medium roast. Kicking Horse Coffee. Kicking Horse. Grizzly Claw. Whole bean. God, they don't have like a medium roast? It's all dark roast, dude. I guess I could drink dark roast. I just have to not use as much. I don't have a problem with dark roast. I just have to like not use as much of it because it's going to be strong. I don't really like chocolate. I want my coffee to taste like coffee. I don't want it to taste like chocolate. I don't want it to taste like. I like it to taste like coffee. Just good old coffee. Cargos has side out coffee, right? And it was okay. I bought the light roast. This one. This one here. The World of Warcraft inspired. The Barons even. This one here. And actually this cactus apple, all this is basically the, you know, it's limited edition, but actually all it is this one. It's just the light roast. They just branded it with some WoW inspired shit. Oh, the dark roast means it's less. Okay, well then okay. Yeah, I'm not a coffee snob. You know, I'm not a coffee snob, so I don't know. I don't really know good coffee. I just have always, you know, my mom had me drinking coffee when I was young. Like I started drinking coffee when I was like 13, because my mom made Folgers coffee. What is this tabard? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the red with the pinkish border. That's actually a pretty cool tabard. Can't find the crits. And he's on my, oh, he's on Night Slayer. That's kind of a cool tabard. Okay, somebody on Reverb just sent me a message. Hold on a second. I hope this is not a bad, what is this? What's the date today? For full 24 hours. Oh, yeah. He's saying, I highly suggest you let the guitar sit in box unopened. Store in neutral place to acclimate, to adjust to travel temperature, etc. Okay. This guy that I bought this guitar off of a couple days ago, he was just telling me that I should let the guitar sit for 24 hours. Now that makes me wonder, does Reverb have a 24-hour return policy? And is he trying to bypass the return policy by getting me to let it sit in the box for 24 hours? We're gonna have to figure that out. What is Reverb's return policy? Okay, Reverb offers buyer protection, ensuring a refund if an item is received damaged or not as described within 7 days of delivery. Okay, cool. So, I didn't think this guy was trying to be a shyster. He actually seems like he's just a really nice guy. Looks like he also... Yeah. It's probably a good idea. Like, whenever you... Because that guitar is coming from California, so you go from California... Although we're going from California to Florida, so the temperature... It's just more humid here, but... It's going to be sitting in my office, which is... You know... It's not going to be humid in my office, so... I haven't had any... You know, honestly, I haven't had any problems with guitars. Like, I've got about, what, 12, a dozen guitars out in my room right now, and I haven't really had any issues with climate acclimatization or, you know, acclimation to climate, however you say it. You know, trying to acclimate, you know, guitars from a different climate into this climate. I really haven't seen any issues. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Electric guitars aren't as bad as acoustics. Acoustics are where it really gets can get really tricky. Oh, see, I didn't know that. That's what's fun. You know, Vols, I didn't know that. I was buying the light roast thinking it was a weaker roast. I always thought light meant it was weaker, and because you think light, medium, dark. I always thought that the light was weaker, and medium was stronger, and dark was the strongest. Shows you how much I know about coffee. You know? Which is funny because the light roast, the funny part is that I bought the light roast from Cargos, and I swear to you, it seemed weaker than the Dunkin' Donuts medium roast. I don't know. It definitely felt like it was weaker than Dunkin' Donuts medium roast, but who knows? Maybe Dunkin' Donuts medium roast is just strong. I don't know. Oh, they had to pay coffee? Well, that's not me. I've loved coffee ever since I was about 13. Alright. Caffeine depends on the bean. Okay, so it's more the flavor, huh? I liked Cargos' light roast. I thought it was good. It felt like it was creamier and smooth. It was definitely creamier and less bitter than the Dunkin' Donuts. And actually, you know, when I was younger, when I was in Seattle and I drank Seattle's Best coffee before it was bought out by Starbucks. Because now if you get Seattle's Best, I believe it's owned. I think it's owned by Starbucks. So it's like, are you really drinking a different coffee? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a subsidiary of Nestle. But pretty sure they were bought out though. Yeah, look, Starbucks sold Seattle's Best coffee. Okay, so Starbucks bought Seattle's Best, then they sold it to Nestle. So, you know what I mean? You can never count on. So I guarantee you that it doesn't taste like it did when it was originally, you know, Seattle's Best. But when I had it in Seattle back in the early 2000s, when it was still owned by it was still its own company. It was really good. I really like Seattle's Best coffee. Use Arabic. So I don't know what does that mean? Hold on a second. So it'd be higher caffeine. That makes sense because the Dunkin' Donuts definitely felt a lot stronger than Cargos' light roast, whatever bean he's using. I'm sure he's got the bean on his website because Cargos kind of considers himself a coffee aficionado to some degree. I'm not saying he considers himself like a master or anything, but I mean it's his job now. That's his knowing coffee to some degree. Oh, they have more caffeine? Okay. And we need more people. My pet's got what? 134 health? So the Robusta is stronger. Strong!
How are you? Be good.
Sometimes when this place gets kind of empty, sound of their breath fades with the lights. I think about the loveless fascination under the Milky Way tonight. Lower the curtain down in Memphis.
Oh my god, I still need, I would like to have 150,000 honor before I go to bed. That means I gotta get 100,000 more. I'm not sure we're gonna make that, but maybe we will, I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, exactly. No, I don't want caffeine. I don't want, no, I don't want strong coffee. I want coffee that's medium strength. Just enough to keep me going, but I don't want it like, you know. What do you mean I'm wired? Dark roast. Yeah, I just want like medium strength. Oh boy. So much honor, so little time. But on a good note, Vost, I was taking the trash out earlier, and I found a dime on the ground. And not only did I find a dime on the ground, a dime, I found a 10-piece euro something or other next to it. And I don't really remember my euro currency. This is what I found. Look at that. I found a euro 10-cent on the ground, man. Right next to a dime, and I'm like, that's kind of odd. Just a dime sitting next to a euro 10-cent on the ground. I thought it was funny. I thought maybe that meant good luck was. I always like whenever I find money just lying on the ground, I always consider it like a good luck omen, you know, like, oh, money. Yeah, I don't know. How's Bitcoin doing? Is it dropping? I'm sure at some point it's got to go down. It can't keep staying up. And it's still at 10,800. Holy shit. I keep thinking it's going to drop. People are going to take profits and it's going to dip, but it just hasn't really done that. So.
Sometimes when this place gets kind of empty.
Yeah, so it's been kind of weird. do, 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 do.
Break the bones.
Do you worry that you're not liked? How long till you break? You're happy
I still need to level my pet up. My pet's still not level 60, which is why I'm killing these mobs here. Because he's right, he's got 3 more bars to go.
I'm thinking why?
Nah, I really don't want to hear that song. Let's just do this. I want to be able to retire with enough money that I can travel to Europe, you know, at least once a year. You know what I'm saying? Is it? Well, I want to go back to France. I want to go back to Paris. I want to go back to the Louvre and spend like about 2 or 3 days just going through all the artwork. Really? Is it that bad? Why is it that? I haven't really looked at it recently. Paris is hell on earth? Why do you say that? Well, what's going on in Paris that makes it bad? When I went there, it was I believe it was 1994 when I went there. Paris actually, France had actually, I think, won the World Cup that year. 90%. It can't possibly be 90% Muslim. There's no way. Robbings? Really? Shit. So I just got to take my AK-47 with me? It's funny when you look at the Bible. You know, you look at the Bible. You know, they say when Judgment Day's coming, that's when the world just starts to just go into shit. And well, it certainly feels like the world's been going to shit lately, doesn't it? A lot of people in France are fleeing to Canada. Huh. Those French Canadians. I should probably start drinking some water here. Instead of all this coffee, I'm gonna get sick. Drinking this much coffee this late at night. Water. Hmm. Yeah, well, I'd like to go to Tennessee, and my wife wanted to. And my wife wanted to go to Tennessee, but now she's kind of changed her tune. She keeps claiming that everybody's moving to Tennessee, and that it's too crowded. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that's not necessarily true. I mean, it is true that there's a lot of people moving to Tennessee. That's very true. And it's also true that it's not a good thing. I mean, there's a lot of people moving there that are coming from like New York and places that we don't want those kind of people. You know, we don't want those kind of people in Tennessee. Okay, we just don't. So, but still, I still think. I mean, I love Tennessee. I think Tennessee is a great place to live. Fastest growing states in the U.S. are generally those with a high percentage. Fastest growing states in 2025 in the United States: District of Columbia, Florida. Look at that, and I'm in Florida. What a surprise! Texas, Utah, South Carolina, Nevada, Idaho. Look at it. Tennessee's not even in this. Here it is. Tennessee's way down here, 1%. So it's like the 13th fastest. So it is fast, but yeah, I don't know why Florida is so high up there. Yeah, I fucking hate New Yorkers. Anybody in the stream's from New York, sorry. Can't stand New Yorkers. Stay where you are. Yeah. I just cannot find some music to play tonight that I really want to hear. This has been happening a lot lately, actually. Let's just do this one. Okay, that's not right. No. Yeah, I like a colder climate. I don't like Florida. I mean, now Tennessee gets hot, just like a lot of the northern states, you know, in the summer. But it doesn't last super long. You know, 2 or 3 months of hot weather. You've got the natural change of the seasons. You got the beautiful fall, which I grew up with. You know, I grew up in Illinois, so you know the fall and stuff in Tennessee is not that different from what I had in Illinois. And yeah, I mean, I'm really kind of sad about it because my wife really was talking about moving to Tennessee, and then every time I talk about it now, she's like, she doesn't want to move to Tennessee. She wants to move like Georgia, and don't get me wrong, you know, there's some really nice places in northern Georgia, because I mean, it's obviously it's right close to the Tennessee border, so you get similar climate, and there are some really nice places in Georgia. But the biggest concern for me and my wife moving anywhere is we need to be somewhere where they have good medical facilities for her because of her medical issues. So there has to be good medical facilities. Holy crap. How did the horde come out of there so fast? That's crazy. Oh shit. These guys are flying. This horde are coming out of... They're like roaches. Can't get rid of them. Yeah, no, I like Tennessee way, but I don't want to say I don't like Georgia. Georgia as a state is okay, but I don't like Atlanta. I can't stand Atlanta. Atlanta, Georgia, I really dislike Atlanta. Not that there are certain places in Atlanta that are cool, but no, I really don't want to live in Georgia.
Lovely.
It's pretty, yeah, it's definitely one of the lowest. It's going up, though. It's going up fast.
Lovely.
Tennessee has, like, the way Tennessee has trended the last year has not been good. Like, the cost of living is rising drastically, but that could be the case, you know, all the way across the United States, so it might not just be Tennessee, right? But it has definitely been trending in a bad direction, with a lot of people moving into Tennessee. But, again, people are doing that because it's a great place to live, to be honest. So...
Break their bones.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just everybody runs to like the popular place until it gets too busy and too crowded, and then they leave. Or although it's like an inverse though. Well, it's an inverse. Like in an MMO, you want to go to the popular servers. In the real world, people want to go to the servers that aren't popular because it's cheaper to live there and it's not crowded. Once it gets popular, the cost of living goes up and it's too crowded and it's hard to get around. So it's an inverse. It's like a complete, you know what I mean?
Lovely.
Meow. Do you like my kitty meow? Whenever my Sword of Zeal procs its internal proc, there's a cat meow. I'm surprised you haven't commented on it since I know you like cats. I don't know if we'll be able to get you to hear it here. Well, I lived in Chicago for years and I loved it at the time, but I don't want to live in the city now. I mean, there's a lot of advantages to being in a city, but I don't mind living close to a city, but I don't want to live in a city anymore. I want to be out in the woods in a cabin by myself, where all the people I don't like are nowhere near me, which is most people, right? Holy crap! Everybody's here.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Why's my pet not getting his butt back here? Well, they just killed my pet. Yeah, so I mean, like, in Tennessee, my wife's parents have some cabins, and let's see, Kelly. This is what it looks like. This is like the lake we go to in Tennessee. It's actually a really cool lake, but this is kind of what Tennessee looks like, you know. Got some. Oh my God, no thanks. Like here, you know, you have lots of land. This is like flatter areas. There's hilly areas too. That's Kelly Clarkson's home. That's not Tennessee. I was gonna say that's not Tennessee. Tennessee looks more like this. I can't get. It's more hilly like this. I hate how you just can't get good pictures anymore on the internet. It used to be so easy. You know, now it's like everything's like a freaking thumbnail. You can't just get like high quality images. Yeah, so like here's the dam at Standing Stone. This is what Tennessee looks like this. Oh, these are some graves. I've been to these graves. There's like all these old graves in the park and even around the park. Look at some that they're just kind of like in random places. I've been to these. Actually, I know exactly where this grave is. I know exactly where these gravestones are at. This is actually behind the cabins that my wife's parents have. Yeah, there's a lot of unmarked graves in Tennessee. You know, lots of graves like this all over the mountains. These are all over the mountains. Like when you're just walking through the mountains, sometimes you stumble across these gravestones. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's really cool. Like, yeah, it's very cool. You know, because there's settlers, and you'll find like old settler, like old buildings and stuff.
Destroy them.
What's wrong with my, there we go. But yeah, you'll find like old, like, just crumbling, like, structures. Like, sometimes, like, chimneys and stuff made out of just brick in the middle of the woods. And they're from, like, you know, they're from, like, the 1800s. They're from, like, settlers that lived in those mountains. And the cool thing, too, is all the mountains in Tennessee were covered in Indians, right? So you find, like, arrowheads everywhere, spear points. You find all kinds of cool stuff, like pottery. You know, every time it rains really, really hard and it takes a layer of dirt off the top of the mountains and it kind of drains down, just go walking around and you'll find all kinds of like artifacts and stuff from the Indians that lived there in the 1800s and stuff, and the settlers. And that was pretty cool though, that website having all those images. I didn't expect to see all those gravestones but I've seen that, you know, Bing.com. Yeah, what do we open? Let's see, open link. What was the other one we looked at? I think it was this one. Yeah. No, I don't know how we got that. I don't know how I don't know how we got those gravestones, but it was cool. This is actually one of the buildings that is at the range. There's like the park ranger stations up on the hill overlooking. So like if you go here, this is actually a building that looks down. So that dam is right below here. So it's actually you can see the lake right here. This is water. So this, let's see. This open image. I don't know if I can get this. I'm gonna get knocked out of this battleground if I'm not careful. Where's my pet? Let's feed my pet. God, I see it. This is what I hate. Like when the images come up really tiny. It's like, what the fuck, man? But anyways, this dam right here is literally right below here. It's like right below this building here. Where did those gravestones go, man? Those were cool looking. I drive by this sign all the time. When we go up and stay at my wife's parents' cabins, they're like 5 minutes from here, from the entrance to Standing Stone State Park. Yeah, beautiful park. Pretty small park too. It's not big at all. All right. Can we kill this dude? Yeah, why not? You're going down, Quartermaster. He's got a lot of hit points. 22,000. It's quite a few. What you got? What you got for me? must have a high armor class because I am not critting at all. I mean, for him only being level 55. Yeah, my crits aren't doing that much damage. Apparently I've got the standard on a keybind, which I didn't realize that. Where's that key bound at? Oh, I have it on the number 2 key. Okay, I didn't know it was there. Interesting. Holy shit, this guy takes forever to kill. Siberian cats. I don't know if I know much about Siberian cats. I don't know much about them. Yeah, I don't know much about them. It took forever to kill that dude. Yeah, they got lots of. They're pretty furry. The cats I like are probably not like my favorite are I like Bengal cats. I really want to get a Bengal cat. I just think they're beautiful, but they are a cross between I think a Serval, I believe, or is it the Serval? But so they might be a little bit more aggressive because they're bred with a wild cat. But I mean, they're just beautiful cats, you know. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous looking cats. I mean, you know. But it depends on what generation. You know, you have different ones. You know, the closer you get to the breed, right? So, Bengal cat. So a Bengal cat as a breed is a hybrid of an Asian leopard cat, right, with domestic cats. And so every time they breed, like if they breed the domestic cat with if they breed the domestic cat with the Asian leopard, then the offspring is called like an F1, right? It's like the first generation. And then they'll breed that one again with another domestic, I guess, and then you get second generation. So the more and more you breed with a domestic cat, the further and further you get away from, you know, the further you get away from the wild cat, which in this case is the Asian leopard, and that also starts to breed out some of the traits of the wild cat. So the one that the other ones that I like is the Savannah cat. Now the Savannah cat's bred with a Serval, and so they can be very aggressive, right? And they're also really, really big, as you can see here. Like Savannah cats can be really, really huge. And look how big this Savannah cat is. But it depends on what generation. You know, the Savannah is a breed of a hybrid cat a cross between the Serval and a domestic cat. So it all depends on how many generations you've bred out that original Serval. Each generation you breed away from the Serval, the smaller the cat's going to get, more closer to the domestic cat. So this one here is probably like an F1. This was probably like a Serval bred with a domestic cat, and that was the offspring. So I think what I would probably want would be like a 3 or a 4, like an F3 or an F4. They're very expensive. I think I've got one on my Facebook. There's a breeder I've had on my Facebook for a long time that I talk to every once in a while because she breeds those cats. But let's see. But I can't remember the name of her place of business at the moment. But yeah, that's something I've always wanted. But right now I've got 3 cats and a dog, so I just can't see myself getting, you know, I just can't see myself getting another one, you know. And they're very expensive, like super expensive, you know. Oh, hey RJ, what's up? Really? You're in the Whelplings? Are you're in this guild?
Break their bones.
Yeah, right there, a skylight, right? Yeah, I had joined this guild on my... Yeah, I see you. I joined this guild on my other hunter, on my other WoW account, which is Shady Vale, right? I don't know if they booted her out of the guild yet. Probably not. Yeah, see, there's my other hunter. And that's on my other WoW account, though. For the most... Yeah, that's right. I think you mentioned that. Yeah, they were just doing a world boss earlier tonight, but I normally I probably would have considered maybe trying to do that with them, but I'm just trying to get my rank 14 mojo going, and I didn't make it. Yeah, no, yeah, it was a 111, dude. It hit that a while ago. Or it hit it. Yeah. Oh, but it is. Oh my God, 111. It's still going up, dude. Holy shit! Is it gonna go all the way up to 112? That's insane.
Great to meet you.
And to think, I almost sold some Bitcoin. I almost sold some Bitcoin yesterday at 108 because I thought maybe I should take some profits because I wanted to buy. But now I ain't selling shit, right? It's not when it's going up like this. I don't touch it. We just hold a lot. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So just Bitcoin's gone up 27% in the past month. That's insane. It's not the easiest, the world bosses. Yeah, I've never done it. I don't think I've ever done a world boss. And I mean, I've done some of the really weak ones, but they're not world bosses, right? They're just like zone bosses. Like, I don't think I've ever done a world boss, like a real world boss.
What can I do for you? Be good.
Oh, we were trying to summon a boss in Ultrock Valley yesterday, but I don't think we had done all the requirements to summon it because it's only supposed to take 10 seconds. It's supposed to take 10 people summoning for 10 seconds, and we had like 20 people summoning, and the boss wouldn't come out. So I'm not sure if it was bugged or what. The Emerald Dream Dragons are the ones we were doing. Cool. How did you even know I was in the guild? RJ, how did you even know that I was in the guild? Did you see it like my tabard or something? Or was it just in the guild list or something? Oh my God, I need so much honor. Oh my God. Oh my God, we need so much honor. Yeah, you were just checking the guild tab? Yeah, that's funny. I joined the guild today. I joined this guild today. I joined it on my Hunter Shady Vale on my other WoW account about 3 or 4 days ago, and I had posted a message saying I was looking for a guild with nice people that are skilled players, but they don't like... I can't remember how I said it. I said, I'm looking for a guild with friendly, laid-back people that help each other, but they're skilled players, but they don't take the game too seriously. Something like that. And one of the people from this guild messaged me and said, so yeah, this guild's pretty much like that. So we do, raids and stuff, but people are pretty chill. They're not like looking at parses and shit. At least that's what they said. It's so brutal. Like this, the The honor grind is pretty brutal. It's nothing compared to the original honor grind. I mean, that's way more brutal. But I mean, and it's getting worse because as more and more people get Grand Marshal, there's going to be fewer people queuing. So the longer you wait to get it, the harder it's going to get. Harder it's going to be. Oh, we actually have someone here who looks like they know what they're doing, so. What do you say? Kill everything. Kill everything, rush Drac. Okay, so we're just gonna head to the end. Alright. Alright, here we go. Find out. Well, I've got a well pet. I've got the dark I'm pretty sure this character has the dark whelpling. The black, what is it? The dark whelpling? You know, the one you get from killing the mobs in the Badlands. The rare one, the dark whelpling. So I have a whelpling pet on this character. And one that's actually not that easy to get either. It's actually incredibly low drop. I haven't done the Fairy Dragon quest line, I just hadn't. But it is a cool pet. That is a cool pet. I like the Fairy Dragon one. That's a good one. Huh. I don't know. I stopped. I need to go all the way back to the end. We need to get to the end and win. I don't know how long I'm going to make it tonight, guys. I'm so tired. And the thing is, next week, my wife goes into surgery on Tuesday, so I probably won't be playing, I won't be playing it all Tuesday, probably. I might not be playing it all Tuesday, so I'm going to have to try to, well, Tuesday's reset. Yeah, so we'll see. Somewhere along the line, I got to figure out where I'm going to get some sleep, because trying to grind like 4 or 5 hours a day of honor while trying to put in like 8 hours at work, it doesn't leave much time for sleeping. Well, cheapest? You talking about price? I'm talking about to get. Go grind for the Dark Whelp and see how long it takes you to get it. The drop rate is very low. Yeah, that is cheap. I'll give you that one. But how many were there? I gotta check the auction house. How many were there even in the auction house? Because I know for a fact that it's a pretty low drop rate. There's the green one, the red one, the dark one. Those are the only ones I know off the top of my head. I've gotten them all. I've gotten them all before. Not at the same time on the same character, but I've gotten them all at one point or another. At one time or another. I hate this jump. It's so annoying. Sometimes you just do it. It's easy, and sometimes it's a pain in the ass. Okay, I guess they're not. Apparently, I shot too soon. Well, I can tell you for a fact the red one. I can guarantee you the red one is a better, probably a better drop rate than the dark. The emerald, now the emerald one is probably about the same. Let's see. But now you got me curious. They do whelp giveaways. Or we could always Google it, but I'm pretty sure the dark it's definitely one of the lower drop rates. The green, the emerald ones, I know where that one drops, and I've only seen that one once. I think the emerald could be the hardest one to get. Alright. Okay, look. Wing of the Whelpling. That's not it. Green Whelp Armor. Where would it be under trade goods? Really? Am I spelling it right? Whelpling? Yeah, I'm spelling it right. So apparently there's none in the auction house. Dark, okay, Dark Whelpling, 0.2% chance. Right? Crimson Whelpling, about 2.2% chance. So they could all be the same. And this one, 1.2. So they're all pretty similar. Looks like the drop rate's all fairly similar. Well, I did Whelpling. I did Whelp. Here, Whelpling. Here we go. It's 44 gold. Crimson's about the same, 50. Oh, they're all about the same. The emerald. The emerald's the most expensive, which doesn't surprise me. Because out of all of these, the emerald's the one that I've seen the least. Right? Yeah, I've seen the emerald. Like, as far as me personally getting them, collecting them, the emerald ones that I've gotten the least. I was 150 gold now, and the dark and the crimson and the dark are pretty much the same. But they're all percentage-wise, according to whatever websites I was just looking at, they're all pretty similar. They're all low drop rate. I've gotten the crimson the most though. I've gotten at least 3 or 4 crimsons playing WoW. I've got darks I've gotten just because I've actually farmed for it. I think the dark's way cooler looking than the crimson. The emerald's pretty cool though. Anyways, I haven't done anything with the guild. I just joined it today, I think, on this character, so. And I think it was Goth Mama, and I told Goth Mama, I said, this is Shady Vale. She's like, oh yeah, I remember you. So I joined on Shady Vale, I was like level 12 at the time, and they're like, is this your main? And I'm like, I go, yeah. Because it was my main on the other server. On the other account, I mean. It is my main. On my other WoW account. Oh my god. This honor is just so awful. Shit. This honor grind is so awful. Streamers could be replaced by AI soon. I don't see that happening.
And you just like, punch it down. Okay, so this is how you start. You find a tree and you just like, punch it down. Okay, so this is how you start. You find a tree.
Okay, I think they're making fun of how stupid this guy is. Like, yeah, you could replace this guy with AI because he's an idiot. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you wouldn't. Holy shit. What the top of that? Oh my god. Cannot believe what Bitcoin's doing today. It's insane. It's at 11,000. Wait. Bitcoin's at 111,800. Wow. And the greed index is in full swing. I need more water. Boy, at the rate this is going, it's going to take me forever to get rank 14. I cannot believe... I would be 1 week away from rank 14 if I hadn't taken 2 weeks off. The self-imposed 2 weeks off? Fucking Blizzard. We should probably level my pet up. He's still not level 60. Altrog Valley, Stormwind City, Skylight, Searing Gorge, farming that black whelp. Who knows what he's doing? Zolgarab, the Love Doctor. There's Goth Mama.
Destroy them.
Oh shit. I was about to whoop his ass. I was gonna whoop his ass. Oh. I wanted to kill that shaman.
Well met. Keep your feet on the ground.
Oh well. Oh my goodness.
You got my attention. Off with you.
Remember the valley.
Watch your back.
Remember the valley.
Watch your back. Off with you. Watch your back. Be good. Off with you. Be good.
Oh, the grind is real. That's a weird serial number. CAE. CAE dash 00 40504 504 004 0504 96 961. I'm falling asleep. No matter how much coffee I drink, it can't keep me awake when I'm as tired as I am. I gotta get at least, it'd be nice if I could get at least to 100,000 on her. I know I'm not gonna make 150, there's no way I can make 150,000. Shit, I'm not even 75,000 yet. Vols. Hey, thank you, Vols, for the money. I appreciate it, dude. What am I gonna believe in? Am I believing in getting all the honor? Or are we believing in the Bitcoin? What is it at now? Thank you, Vols. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, sir. Oh, it's dropped a little bit. I mean, really, it said 111,400 and everything. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, believe that you're gonna be okay. Believe that my wife's gonna be okay. Believe that Bitcoin's gonna make us enough money so we can retire comfortably. I do think Bitcoin's the way. I do think it's our best chance to, at least for me anyway, to retire with any semblance of wealth. You know what I mean? I just wish I would have found George's channel a lot sooner, because I would have been buying Bitcoin a lot sooner. You know? How come I can't like that? I think other people can like it, but I can't. I can reply though. Thank you. We have to believe. Well, I believe in Bitcoin, man. I've been a big believer. You know, it was George is the one who got me to believe in Bitcoin. When I first started buying Bitcoin, and it was like 54,000, and it was doing those crazy like big swings, you know, and I was like, oh shit, you know, because I didn't understand Bitcoin in the beginning, but now I know how to kind of. But I shouldn't say I know how. I know who, right? In George we trust, man. Just watching whenever Bitcoin would drop a lot, I would just always go to George's channel, watch some streams, and he would calm my nerves just by telling me what's going on. This is why it's going down. This is what's happening. And I was like, yeah, it's all good, man. I think what's happening right now, well, the biggest reason Bitcoin's going up. Yeah, he is the cryptotherapist. The biggest reason it's going up is because everybody's losing faith, because the governmental, you know, the bonds and stuff aren't working for the U.S. government, and it's coming to that time of year where all the bonds we've sold, we have to pay back those dividends or stuff to the people who bought them, and we don't have enough money to do that. So I think government's gonna have to pull money, kind of like borrow more money against that. So it's, you know, they're just going more and more in debt. And that means if that's the case, then they have to print more money, more fiat, and if they print more fiat, then inflation goes up. So it's this like, just, you know, it's just a terrible circle to be in. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Meow. Big damage, big damage, big damage.
Destroy them.
Yeah. I mean, Bitcoin, it could be one day, like 30, 40 years in the future, where everything's Bitcoin. Like the entire global economy could be Bitcoin. You know what I mean? That could be like the currency that transcends all nations. You know what I mean? Like no matter where you are in the world at any time, you can buy stuff with Bitcoin, you know? I mean, that's what it could be. Whether or not it will be that, I don't know. I don't know if I can take out this wolf by myself. Let's see. Oh, looks like I can. I'm doing some good damage here. Well, my pet's doing some good damage too. Alliance wins. Well, yeah, for direct transactions, yeah. But what will happen is they'll set up some sort of, you know what I mean? It'll be like a credit card, like where it's gonna be like a credit card where you're backed by Bitcoin. Like it's like based on how much Bitcoin you have, you'll have a line of credit. So you'll be purchasing stuff based on, on your Bitcoin, and then when the transaction of the Bitcoin comes through, or however you set it up, it'll automatically pay off that credit card based off from your Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, Sui's supposedly the fastest, yeah. Oh, shit. We gotta start the fucking.
How are you?
We gotta join the battle. We gotta join the battle.
Here there. Watch your back. Off with you. Be good. Off with you. Watch your back. Be good. Off with you.
Oh, 70,000. Oh, 70,000 honor. Oh my god, I still need another like 430,000 honor. What do you make of this Squire Fender Stratocaster serial number? Decodings. Built-in AXL factory in China. Numbers generally used on Squire SE100 Strat Pack guitars. I'm not sure what a Strat Pack. Early C100s carry a 10-digit string. Third digit coming in. Production year 4, which means it could be a 2004. Bottom line guitars 2004 Squire SE Stratocaster made in AXL plant in China. Originally sold in the Stop Dreaming Start Playing starter pack with a little. Oh, so this is like a really, really cheap guitar. 1 3/4. How are these guitars viewed today? Great mod platforms because the body is full size. The neck pocket is standard. Aftermarket bridge blah, better than a Bullet Affinity in stock trim, but below the classic lap line. Current value 140 to 200. Man, ChatGPT's been really accurate. You know, normally when I do research for guitars, you know, trying to figure out how much a guitar is worth, if it's worth buying or not, you know, I just Google it. But now, ChatGPT's gotten good enough where I'm getting the information out of ChatGPT faster than it would, you know, than I could get it, and it's been pretty accurate. You know, the coolest thing, what I did with ChatGPT is check this out. Is here, hold on a second. Is ChatGPT, you can send it images now, which is really cool. So I actually sent it this, asking about a certain serial number for a Stratocaster. It gave me some really good information. Then I submitted pictures of the actual guitar, right? And then it was able to, based on the pictures, you know, give me some pretty good, you know, stuff, you know. Yeah, basically this is what it was pulling this all off the pictures. So pretty cool. And actually I had a light bulb burn out one of my lamps in my apartment a couple weeks ago. And I wasn't exactly sure which replacement bulb to get because it was kind of an oddly shaped light bulb. So I took a picture of the light bulb and specifically the threads of the base of the light bulb where it screws into my lamp, and I put it into ChatGPT and it told me exactly what kind of light bulb, you know, what size it was, what different variations, everything I ever needed to know about that particular light bulb, so that I could go on Amazon and identify the right one, you know. And I was like, shit. I was like, this is pretty cool. So yeah. And you saw, Vols, when I used ChatGPT to estimate Bitcoin. I said, what's the Bitcoin price going to be within a week? And I did that, yesterday? And I think it said within a week it anticipated it would be, 105 to 112 or something? Yeah, it said bottom line. It said 110 to 115 is what it estimated the price would be within a week. Yeah, and it's sitting at 111.3. I just can't believe it's gone up. Here, hold on a second. But it's gone up 27% last month. In the last year, it's gone up 58%. What sucks is I got into Bitcoin right as it started to go up quite a bit. If I would have gotten to Bitcoin like 3 months earlier than I did, like I got in and it was like 54, and that was March, January. If I would have got in about 5 months earlier, well, it wouldn't have been that big difference. Really, I wanted to get in around January, like December of 2022. It would have been around 16,000. 2022. Yeah, so I was a long ways away from that. So. Which one? The guy that? Oh yeah, what did he do? I gotta go back and look. He I don't remember. What did he do? Did he like? Cause my friend at work sent me some stuff, the same stuff too. I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. Yeah, that was it. He paid 10. Oh, so it was the Papa John's. He paid 10,000 Bitcoin for Papa John's pizza. Yeah, that was the image my friend sent me, and I didn't realize. Yeah, I don't think I. It's funny that you sent me that because my friend at work sent me, I think, the exact same image. Right? I think he sent me the exact same thing. Oh, it's a different one though. 15 years ago today, Laszlo paid 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 Papa John's pizzas. Today, that would be worth 1.1. Yeah, it is the same image. Here, my coworker. It's so funny that you sent me that because my coworker sent me an image today. Let's see. Yeah, it's like really funny that you sent me that. I just sent the image to the crypto right now. To the crypto Discord. So my coworker, actually my boss actually sent me that image last night to my phone. And I honestly didn't know what it was, but apparently it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing as your article, where he paid 10,000 Bitcoin to buy 2 pizzas. Yeah. Isn't it crazy though? He'd be a billionaire. But I mean, there's all kinds of stories like that. You know, there's people. I think there was one guy who. I think there's one guy who said, "Hey, I'll give you 5 Bitcoin for something," and he said, "Nah. Just give me the $10 or something." And now 5 Bitcoin obviously is, $500,000, or actually it's $555,000. You know what's worse than that? Like that's understandable though. That's understandable. I mean, because at the time it wasn't worth that much money. But what really sucks is the people who lose the Bitcoin, like who have like cold storage wallets, and they lose their wallet, or they lose or even worse, they don't know their passkey. They don't have any of their passwords or anything. So like you know what I mean? Yes, I remember that. The StarCraft tournament gave out 25 Bitcoin to 8th place, and the top prize was 1,000. Yeah. Yep. I remember that. I actually heard that before. Somebody told me that before. Probably you. It was probably you that told me. Oh, it deletes it? No freaking way. Remember the guy? Did you ever see that YouTube channel where the guy cracked into somebody's treasure? This guy? How I hacked a hardware crypto wallet and recovered 2 million? This guy actually hacked a treasure wallet. Well, that's fine, like, because, yeah, he actually hacked it, which is amazing, like, really amazing, actually. There's only probably a few people in the entire world that can do that. But it was all based on a certain flaw. Like, it was, imagine him able to, like, somehow, like, restart the device, and then trying to get it to restart, and then, wait. Wait, so here's the thing. Now with a cold storage wallet, you're fine, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you lose your device, right? Because it's just, the device is just, right? Like, I have my Trezor wallet, right? If that breaks, it doesn't really matter. I just need my address and my passcodes. You know what I mean? I need the address of where my Bitcoin is on the blockchain. And then I just punch that into any, I get any device that can access that, and then I just need my key codes, right? The wallet, the hardware wallet, at least the cold storage, it's just, it doesn't actually have the Bitcoin. None of the cold storage wallets have the Bitcoin on the wallet. They're just a device that, unless I'm misunderstanding it, you know what I mean? They're just a hardware device that gives you the ability to interact with the blockchain. Because again, all your Bitcoin is always going to be stored on the blockchain somewhere. You don't pull it off the blockchain. You're just,
Break their bones.
like Robinhood. Like, for example, Robinhood has, hold on a second. I have, I didn't get him with my, oh, I didn't get my trap off? Why can I not?
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Come on, get him.
You were screwed.
I'm like, where is my pet? Like, what the fuck is up with my pet? Like, it's like my pet is, like, completely, like, freaking lost. It's like, what are you doing, buddy? That was just so weird that my pet... I know he feared him, but it's like he feared him to an area where he got bugged or something. Oh, now we
Kiss
got...
your ass goodbye.
Oh.
You were screwed.
Oh, the old regrowth. I see how you are. Oh, yeah, he ran away. What? Oh, no. I was kicking that druid's ass. Did you see that too? That druid had to heal himself because I was kicking his ass. Anyways, yeah, I always get confused with the wallets, right? Like really, like, if you look at here, hold on a second. Where's my pet at? Oh, someone put my pet to sleep. What the flip? Was he still asleep coming out of the respawn? Must have been. All right, so if I go to get, okay, say, let's go to ChatGPT. Can you explain what a crypto cold storage device is, and does it actually store Bitcoin, or is it just a way to save the address? I always get confused on the cold storage wallets. All right. Yeah, so what I have is a hardware wallet. Like, so let's see. Okay. Hardware wallet, Ledger, Trezor, Bitbox, Keystone. I have a Trezor, right? It's a small USB device whose only job is to generate and protect private keys and sign transactions into a tamper-resistant chip, right? The private key, or a seed phrase that can be deterministically create many private keys. This is a secret that lets you spend coins. It must remain private. Firmware and sometimes an address book. Hardware wallets keep minimal metadata to make life easier, but that's optional and often encrypted or pin locked. It does not store the Bitcoin itself. Bitcoin only exists as entries in the public blockchain ledger, replicated on thousands of nodes worldwide. What the cold storage device gives you is an exclusive control over the cryptographic key that can authorize moving those entries, right? So it's like an interface. Like the cold storage wallet is like an interface between you and the blockchain, right? It's almost like, I mean, it's not really any different. The difference is nobody's like the custodian. Like if you purchase Bitcoin from Robinhood, like it's like the Bitcoin that I own on Robinhood isn't on my own personal address. It's not stored on the blockchain on a personal address that only I have access to. It's stored in Robinhood's, it's in Robinhood's storage location. So I own it, but Robinhood has it. So if someone hacks Robinhood and somehow gets into that address of their storage location of my Bitcoin, someone can steal my Bitcoin, right? That's the benefit of the cold wallet, the hardware device wallet, is that we're not letting Robinhood be the custodian of the address location of the Bitcoin. You have the address location of the Bitcoin, and only you have access to it, right? That's the difference, right? Yeah. So right now I have a bunch of Bitcoin on Robinhood, right? But I have a bunch of Bitcoin on my cold storage wallet, which is I gotta tell you, having it on Robinhood always feels nice because you don't have to worry about the custodian of it. You don't have to worry about losing. I don't have to worry about losing all my information. I mean, Robinhood has it. It's in Robinhood, but I can send the Bitcoin from Robinhood directly to my cold storage wallet just by going into Robinhood and saying, okay, withdraw, and I can actually give it the address of my cold storage, which probably is just a pointer to a location on the blockchain. I don't fully understand how the hardware part of it works, but I'm going to assume that your cold storage wallet has an address, and that address points to, just a location on the blockchain, right? So I need to really do more research on it because I do want to understand exactly how it works. And just so I can explain it to other people, but Bitcoin is going to be stored in different blocks, different memory addresses, just hardware addresses on the blockchain. And they could be on all over the internet. This could be located on some computer in Thailand, right? So, these location bit addresses are in Thailand, right? And these location addresses are in, you know, London, right? And these over here could be in Tokyo, right? I don't know that, though. I don't know where these physically reside. I don't know hardware-wise, you know, what piece of hardware, where this stuff is. All I know is that I have an address. I've got my address in my cold storage wallet, and when I want to pull Bitcoin out of my cold storage, it's probably going to go to these. You know, let's assume that all of these are Bitcoin on the blockchain that I own, right? Like I own Bitcoin in all of these address locations on the blockchain. My address is, and I don't know if this is how it works. I'm just assuming this is how it works. My address just points to wherever it is that my Bitcoin is on the blockchain, right? It knows where it's at. I don't know where it's at, you know. And the physical hardware device I have has a PIN number. It also has a passphrase, right? Right. So when I go into my hardware device, I've got to type in the PIN. When I go into my hardware device, I have to type in my PIN number. Once I type in my PIN number, then I have to type in a passphrase, right? And then even past that, since my Bitcoin is actually stored in a hidden wallet, then I have to type in another phrase. There's actually 3 layers of security on my hardware wallet. You've got to go past the PIN, then you got to go past the passphrase, then you have to go past a hidden passphrase. So I've actually got 3 layers, right? Once I get past all of that, then then I'm in and I can see what Bitcoin I have, right? But if I wanted to transfer Bitcoin, all I need is my address. All I need is this address. But to transfer it from this address somewhere off of my cold storage, I have to initiate the transfer. Then my cold storage is going to request that I type in the PIN, and then I type in the passphrase, and then I confirm that this transfer that's being initiated from my address going somewhere, either going somewhere else, that I authorize it, right? So no one can send, like theoretically, no one can go to my address, and if they know my address, because it's just some sort of hash, right? If someone happens to know that address, theoretically no one can do anything with it because it's linked to my hardware device. So you'd have to have my hardware device to authenticate trying to transfer or receive any Bitcoin going to and from that address, right? So I don't really know how hackers. I mean, that's how I understand it, and I could be wrong. That may not be how it works, but I believe that's how it works. But again, I don't know. I'm not an expert, and that's just how I think it works. I could be completely wrong, and I really should probably spend some time to read up on it. And but that's why it's really crazy when you think that people like hack these exchanges. It's like, how do they do it? Like how I know that I heard that the latest hack from, I think it was Bitfinance, right, where they got it was social engineering, right? Because you got to realize that a lot of the exchanges require KYC, which is know your customer or something. So like if you create an account on that exchange, you have to give them some information about you, right? Like your name and maybe your address. It's KYC, know your customer. So you're required to supply them with certain pieces of information. So somehow people hack into the exchange, which has nothing to do with Bitcoin addresses. They're just hacking into like people's accounts, I guess, or the exchange at a higher level. And then they get that KYC information, right? And then they use that KYC information, I think, to somehow hack people's accounts, maybe? I really don't know how they do it, but it's insane. It's just crazy to think that people are getting hacked, But the blockchain doesn't get hacked because that's pretty much almost impossible. Even with quantum computing, they won't be able to hack the blockchain. It just isn't powerful enough yet. But I always hate it when someone asks me, what is Bitcoin? How does it work? Why should I buy Bitcoin? What can I do with Bitcoin? It's just like some sort of fake currency, and I'm like, well, everything's fake currency. All currency is a note. Is like a note where you agree to honor something, right? Like a dollar bill is just an agreement between you and somebody that dollar or that piece of paper is worth $1. And so for you, it's the way the world works is it's an agreement with everybody. Everybody agrees that a dollar bill is worth $1. And so that if you go into any kind of store that sells goods and services, that dollar bill you have is worth what it says it is, which is $1. It is. Exactly. It really doesn't make any difference. It's just, I mean, like dollars are backed by banks, right? Banks in the end, I mean, I guess a dollar is backed by banks. Like, you have money in a bank and, they're, but if you take it way back when, before the dollar, currencies existed, yeah, it's all an agreement. It's an agreement. It's an agreement between you and everybody else but in the old days, like salt used to be worth more than gold because salt was something that was used to store food. Yeah, right? Like it was the only way that they could take meat and stuff and store it in a way that so salt was an extremely important commodity. And so salt was, carrying a bunch of salt around could be the same as carrying a bunch of dollars because it's just an agreement that something has value. Like, yeah, it's backed by trust, but it's an agreement that something has value. People understand that $1 has value because it's backed by the U.S. government, right? American dollars backed by the U.S. government, backed by the U.S. the banks. If they didn't back it and they didn't, then it wouldn't have any value. So Bitcoin's just another form of something that, it's only ever going to be worth what people value it as, Why do people post 100-day old McDonald's food and say it's not food? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've never really seen those posts. I don't really look at a lot of social media stuff, so. But yeah, I'm sure I'm explaining all this completely wrong though, so don't take my advice or descriptions as in any way factual. You'd be better off asking ChatGPT to explain how currency works. I just have a very rudimentary understanding of it. I'm certainly no finance person. Yeah, I just know that what will make Bitcoin worth something is that people will honor it. People will honor, and so what I mean by that is that stores will say we accept Bitcoin as a way of payment, and then Bitcoin has value because now you can go to a store and you can buy a pizza with Bitcoin, or you can go to a car dealership and you can buy a car with Bitcoin. That makes it have value because people are recognize that it's worth something. And like you said, it's a sign of trust between you and that person that you trust that it does have some sort of value, I guess. I don't know, but to me, what makes Bitcoin appealing is that it can easily be transferred instantly anywhere in the world. And inflation doesn't really affect Bitcoin in the sense that, or I guess I should say, what's it called when, the devaluation of $1, like certain countries, currencies constantly being worth less and less. So if you go to a certain country and you buy like a house, let's say you buy that house for $10,000, the currency of that country is worth less and less and less. That's why the price of the house goes up and up and up. Because since currency is worth less, then it takes more currency to buy the house, right? So if you bought a house for $1,000 and $1,000 and the dollar bill, next year is only worth 50% of what it was before, well, then that house will probably be worth at least $2,000 now because the person who's selling it realizes that the dollar isn't worth but 50% of what it was worth the year before. So they need more money to compensate for that. It's kind of like, that's inflation. That's kind of, in a way, that's inflation, right? Again, I'm just talking out of my ass probably, but.
Hello.
But what makes Bitcoin appealing to me and to a lot of people, I think, is because it's not affected by that. Bitcoin's only worth what all the people who use it and hold it think it's worth, right? Or we all think it's worth a lot, but there's only, and plus it's a finite set of amount. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoins. So like gold, they can always find more gold. I mean, they can even find more gold on asteroids. An asteroid lands on the planet has gold, or eventually if we travel out to space, we might find other planets that have gold. But Bitcoin, there's only going to ever be 21 million. So, and things, as things are only, supply and demand. The more demand there is for something, the more it's worth. And the less supply there is, the more it's worth. So, and we see it in World of Warcraft, right? Like if I go to the auction house in World of Warcraft, and there's a huge demand for light feathers, and there's only like 100 light feathers in the auction house, they're going to sell for quite a bit. But if all of a sudden there's 10,000 feathers in the auction house, the price is going to go way down just simply because it's supply and demand. Well, it's the same thing. Bitcoin is rapidly being bought out, and so the supply is rapidly, and it's rapidly decreasing, right? But the person who created Bitcoin was quite a genius because they made it so that it couldn't all be mined right away. In fact, it'll take all the way until like 2300 or something until it's completely, I can't remember. I mean, let me just, it's quite a ways off still until it's going to be completely mined. It's just that every halving reduces the amount that can be mined in half, so it's crazy, and that in and of itself makes it go up in value because, again, there's fewer supply. Yeah, and it's a digital age. Yeah. So some of the things that would make Bitcoin be really worth nothing is if somebody created some sort of EMP pulse that just destroyed all digital devices and equipment, and we got thrown into the dark age. But I think that would hurt all monetary currencies. All currencies would be hurt, and then we'd be back to trading stuff, like salt and gold, things that actually are physical. That dollar bills wouldn't be worth anything. Nobody. No, is that wrong? I mean, if there was no electronics anymore, like if there's some sort of, if we lost all power in the world, I mean, dollar bills aren't really going to be worth anything, are they? No, but what if we never got it back? What I'm trying to say is, what if we lost all power in the world and we knew that we were never going to get it back? Then, you know what I mean? Then I'm talking about like a permanent loss. Then we would be thrown back almost into the dark ages. And the stuff that would hold value would be the stuff that's useful, and then you'd be talking about food and, like you said, salt or gold or things that were needed, guns, ammo, axes, tools, and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's the funny part is if that happened, it would turn into a very, very violent society because everybody would be every man for himself. Because people aren't prepared. The world would never be prepared for that. Like if that happened, there was actually like The Walking Dead was a pretty good example of that. Like how it turned into just, like people would create these camps and gather people together and they would stockpile weapons and ammunitions and what I mean? Prepper, and that's why preppers exist. And by the way, my brother's a prepper, believe it or not. My brother, who I don't have any really relations with anymore, he's a prepper. He has like thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds of ammunition and guns, and he scares me, to be honest, a little bit. He's kind of he worries me sometimes. But yeah, that's why preppers exist, because they believe that it's possible that that could happen, and if it does happen, they want to be prepared. And I mean, you can't blame them. I mean, if I knew for certain that was going to happen, I'd be a prepper too. If I knew for a fact that on a certain date in the future, all electrical systems and electricity and everything was going to go down and it was going to stay down for like 10 years, Jesus, you don't think I'd be prepping? I'd have my own like fortress of solitude or something. This was so much easier to get all my honor when it was AV weekend. Let me see if anybody. Let's see. Raid. Anyone know when the next AV weekend is? Yeah. This person says this weekend. Where do I find like the schedule? Let's see, classic WoW. Let's see, WoW AV weekends. Okay, World of Warcraft Classic Era. I'll try guys if you 7 comments 1 month ago. Wowhead. Ultra Valley Battleground weekends live until April 15th. January, February, March, April, March, April. But this is May. Every weekend from Thursday night. Battleground holidays are on a weekly rotation starting the weekend of April 4th. So you got series major cities get features the Battlegrounds. Where's the schedule though? I don't know. But what I was trying to say is, what appeals to me about Bitcoin is that no matter where you are in the world, eventually I think we will have, we'll have stuff on our phone and stuff on our watches and stuff on our devices where we'll be able to just easily buy stuff with Bitcoin. Now we won't be, like you said, we won't be buying stuff with Bitcoin directly, but we'll be buying stuff with some sort of an application that's backed by the Bitcoin we own. Like a credit card. Like you'll have a credit card, but what backs the credit card is not the money you have in your bank account, but it's the Bitcoin you have on the blockchain. And you know what I mean? That's to me what I think will happen. And so the whole currency of the world it really could turn into almost Bitcoin, because you can have 0.0001 Bitcoin and it's worth money. You don't have to have one Bitcoin. You can have any fraction you want. Like 0.1 Bitcoin right now is worth $10,000. One Bitcoin, well, it's worth more than that. It's worth like 11,000 something. Yeah, I mean it's surpassing a lot of. It's going down a little bit now. Wait a minute, one day. Sorry, I just sneezed like hugely, and now my nose is running. Yeah, it keeps moving up the ladder of the most, you know, the most valuable resource, or whatever, big, market cap wise. Like, got a ways to go to pass gold, but.
Slay them all.
Oh shit.
Great to meet you.
Oh man. 80,000. But like I was saying, I mean, Bitcoin will be backed by, obviously, you'll have credit cards or some sort of accounts that are backed by Bitcoin, and everybody will be able to buy everything in the world with Bitcoin. I mean, that's the way it should be. I mean, you saw that Texas passed I put that in the crypto Discord. You know, Texas passed the strategic Bitcoin, and Texas is one of the biggest economies in, I think, almost like in. I mean, they're big, right? It's interesting. Certain states have huge economies. Like, how big is the Texas, economy, right? Texas County is estimated around 2.7 trillion, making it the second largest in the United States behind California. If it were a country, it would rank us as the 8th largest economy in the world. And then California is even bigger than that, right? So some of the states in the United States are set, their economies are worth so much money, Anyways, so when you see a state that's has 2.7 trillion, and they're going to put Bitcoin into strategic reserve, that's a big deal. Also, somebody, I don't know if you saw that somebody put a $1 billion 50x long position on Bitcoin. And I don't really understand how longs work. I used to understand how they worked, but that was like a month ago, and if I don't use it, I lose it, so I don't really remember what that is today. But I can't remember if a long is you're betting on Bitcoin going up. I think it is, right? When you do a long, you're betting on the Bitcoin price is going to continue to go up. Let me see if we can ask ChatGPT. All the Bitcoin are not stored anywhere. They're accounting entries in the public. So basically 2140 is the estimate, not a hard date, of when all the Bitcoin will be mined. So 2140. I'll be long dead. I mean, you know, we'll all be long dead before that happens. So there will still be Bitcoin being mined, you know, unless it turns into like the world turns into, you know, altered carbon or something, and we're all re-sleeving our consciousness into new, like, genetically grown bodies from a lab, and then we can just live as immortals for the rest of time, you know. If we can do the Philip K. Dick novel, Altered Carbon. Great book, by the way. Yeah, but I think U.S. is almost, I don't want to say we're leading the way. We're definitely one of the leaders that are leading the way into adoption. You know, when all these states, we already have like 3 or 4 states that have established Bitcoin reserves. You know, we already have places like Steak and Shake that say they're going to accept Bitcoin for payments. There are other countries that are more Bitcoin friendly than we are, though. But they're smaller countries. If I could just get to 100,000 at least before I go to bed, I'd be pretty happy with that. It's only 1 a.m., so I'm just exhausted, though. Yeah, next week I'm gonna be in the hospital with my wife, so I don't know. There's definitely gonna be a few days probably where I'm not gonna be able to play, which means I don't know. Well, Monday I don't work though. I don't work Monday, but my wife doesn't work either. And since it's the day before her hospital, she's gonna be so stressed out. So I'm probably going to imagine that Monday we'll probably go over to her parents' house to try to de-stress her, you know, like her sitting around here, she'll just be thinking about the surgery. So I'm imagining on Monday I'll probably end up going to her parents' house just to try to de-stress her. Dude, Bitcoin's my salvation, Vols. You know what I mean? It's my only hope of having being wealthy. Unless I win the lottery or something, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know why, but Bitcoin dropped a ton, but I think it dropped right at 1 a.m. Yeah, right at 1 a.m. There's got to be some sort of a consolidation phase, though, where it drops down to like 102. I keep expecting it's going to happen. Wow, that's awesome, dude.
You can kiss your ass.
You talking about
goodbye.
Bitcoin or? Well, the tax. I mean, I sold a bunch of Bitcoin last year because I used it to as a down payment for my new car, and so I had to pay the capital gains tax, and it was quite a bit. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what the percentage is, but yeah, it's. I wish they'd get rid of the capital gains tax. People have talked about Trump maybe getting rid of that, and actually Australia. I don't know if you saw, but Australia has talked about it too. You pay 60%? That's fucking ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. That's yeah. Here it's like more. It's like 20% or something. How much is the capital gains tax in Florida? I think it's like 20% maybe, or 15 maybe, 15, 20. Yeah, low pandemic. It says right here, Florida is tax-friendly state with no... Okay, I gotta wait for it to finish. It's thinking. Hey, the boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
Break their bones.
Attack!
Oh shit, he reset. He
Kiss
reset.
your ass goodbye. You were screwed.
I'm dead. Yep. I'm dead. Yeah, you can't touch your crypto. Well, that sucks. Yeah, but you can move it though. I don't. That's the thing I don't get. How can they tax? You could send all your crypto to me, right? You could send all your crypto to me. What if you did? Would you be taxed for giving your crypto to somebody else? Like if you gave your crypto to me and I sold it, and then gave the money to you, how would that work? As soon as it hits your bank. But they can't even track, the government can't even track you moving your Bitcoin, right? Like, for example, like my Bitcoin that I have on my cold storage, nobody can track that. I mean, they can, that's not true. They can track it, but no one's actively tracking it. Yeah. No, but if they found out, what, they put you in prison for what? Like for embezzlement or what is it?
Till next we meet. Hi.
Okay, so these are the guys that we need to give. This is Slidor's fleet, and this has got to be for Vipor's fleet. Okay. There's a whole state of having the money coming into the bank. So even if you really just had it lying around, you'd have to prove that. Well, all I can say is that Australia is saying that crypto shouldn't be sorry. My brain's not working right now. I'm too tired. What is it? Unrealized gains or whatever. Cryptocurrency shouldn't be, you know, shouldn't be taxed, right? It shouldn't be a capital gain, right? Like they're saying that it shouldn't be considered a commodity. It should be considered currency. So right now, they're trying to treat crypto like it's a commodity. You know what I mean? Like it's some sort of, you know. But if crypto is just currency like any other currency, then, yeah, then pulling it out, it's just pulling out your currency. Anyways, there's been rumors about the capital gains tax being removed, but who knows when that would happen. But for crypto to be a truly global currency, I think you almost would have to remove that. You can't have people. No one's going to use the crypto. No one's going to use Bitcoin as a global currency if you're getting taxed 60%. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. Let's like try to tax me 60% for spending some, you know, $10 or something.
Lovely.
Yeah. Your living tax? You have a carbon? You got too many taxes in Canada.
To battle.
In Florida, like in the United States, a lot of the states have a state tax and a federal tax, but I live in Florida, and Florida does not have a state tax. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm just a zombie right now. I'm literally a zombie right now. I can barely keep my eyes open. The coffee's the only thing that's keeping me going right now. Meow. So, I don't know if you heard that, but every time Zeal procs, right? Every time Zeal procs, we hear the kitty meow. Yeah.
What's on your mind? Keep your feet on the ground. What's on your mind? Watch your back. Off with you. Very good. Watch your back.
What for the it's the point of no return. After everything we did,
83,000. Oh.
turned your back on me. What for? To yearn. What's that butcher burn? At the end of my days when I'm through, no word that I've written will ring quite as true as burn. Burn, butcher, burn. Burn, butcher, burn.
Okay, so here, federal capital gains tax in Florida. Holding period 1 year or less. So if you hold Bitcoin for less than a year and you sell it, you will be taxed 10% to 37% based on the bracket you fall into. I believe I fall into probably like the 15 or 20% bracket. If you hold Bitcoin longer than a year before you sell it, your tax, what you're going to get taxed is less. It's not a lot less, but it's 50%. It's 0, 15, or 20. So I'm going to guess that I probably would fall into the 15% on Bitcoin sold after owning it for a year. Oh, it says it's based on the amount. So if you sold a bunch of Bitcoin and you made like $80,000, you would be taxed 50%. If you sold Bitcoin if you held Bitcoin for more than a year and you sold a bunch of Bitcoin, but the Bitcoin you sold only netted you a profit of like, I don't know if this is profit or if this is total. I'm going to assume it's profit. If it netted you a profit of like $20,000, you wouldn't pay any tax at all. You'd be no capital gains tax. Anything less than 48,000 isn't taxed if you've owned it for a year before you sell it. I think this may be my last one. This may be my last AV. I'm really struggling here. But I know I need to get a lot more honor. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it this week. At some point in time I got to figure out when I'm going to sleep. We've been streaming for 3 hours and all we've gotten, I think I was around 30 some thousand. So all I've gotten in 3 hours is about 50,000 honor. That might not even be right. I'd have to go back to the beginning of the stream to see where my honor was. I can't remember where it was. Bitcoin price at 111,000. George broke out the blue freaking whiskey, blue label whiskey, whichever one he's drinking, the Johnny Walker Blue. Tonight, he was drinking his whiskey in celebration of the Bitcoin price. Da-ba-doo-ba-doo-boo. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the last game. I think I fell asleep twice already in the past like 2 minutes. I keep nodding off in the middle of just running south in this AV, so I think this is the last game. I'm not able to stay awake at this point. Yeah, I'm falling asleep. I'm falling asleep. Thanks for the donation, Valst. The $8.31. You the man. As usual, I will tell my wife that you donated. Whenever someone donates, I always tell my wife. I say, "Hey, look, someone gave me some money." She always like, "Oh, cool." Because it happens so rarely, you know. Alright, so these things we get off of these guys. If you got enough of these and you turn them in back at the beginning, then you should be able to summon bosses. I guess I'm gonna talk to you late hours today about random things, yeah. Well, you know, I've always said World of Warcraft is my own personal therapist, so playing WoW is how I relax after working, you know, or dealing with the stress from my wife's medical conditions, which fucking stresses the shit out of me. It stresses me out big time, you know.
Lovely.
Alright, that's the third time I fell asleep. I have fallen asleep 3 times in this AV. And I've caught myself nodding off 3 times already. If you see me walk into a wall with my character, you'll know I fell asleep.
Destroy them. Slay them all.
It's the fourth time I fell asleep. That's 4 times now I've fallen asleep in here. You know my wild smelling cells? Come on, let's get this guy down. Oh shit, this isn't good. Oh man, my pet, did you see my pet just got annihilated? It's like Biff. Oh look, he kills the battle standards too. Look at all the mobs just reset. You ain't got nothing on me. You guys ain't got nothing on me. All of them tried to kill me. I had my deterrence up. It was just like ting, ting, parry, block, parry, block. That warrior's like, what the fuck? Why can't we kill this guy? Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom. Am I dead? No, no, not dead. God. Of course, the one that I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the last day of Ace turns into a battle.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed. Lovely.
People are talking shit in the chat here, it looks like. Have fun with Turtle. Fucking clown. Stop smoking weed, maybe now. Stop smoking weed, maybe now. How win AV? Well, go ahead, leave. Your mama's clowning these nuts. Come on, big. Come on, big man. Grown man can't handle getting picked on. Ah, children. Kids. Yeah. Yeah, well, no, they're just fighting. They need more weed. Need more weed. I hit the wrong keybind, shit.
Lovely.
Apparently I wasn't meant to go to bed yet. Okay, fuck that.
Tell me it's not that heavy. Light on my face and beg me not to cry. And tell me
There's no mobs in here.
it's not that heavy. Tell me that you don't lie awake and think about it.
Meow.
Just when I haven't got you.
I'm gonna hide under here. Hide under this rock ledge. Radiohead breakdown. I know you want it. I know you want it. I know you want it. What did we ask ChatGPT recently? All right, so here we go. What does the hardware device actually store? The private key. How does spending work from cold storage? Prepare the transaction on a connected device, your phone. Enter the destination address, right? The software builds an unsigned transaction. Transfer it to the cold device via USB Bluetooth. Still unsigned, so it's worthless if intercepted. Sign inside the cold environment. The private key never leaves this device. Only digital signature is produced. Send the signed transaction back to the online device. Now it can be broadcast to the Bitcoin network. Miners see a valid signature and include the transfer in a block. And this is what miners do. Anyways, I'm just trying to figure out how this Bitcoin stuff works for transactions. Oh, I got a little bit of a burst of energy because I got up out of my chair and I went and took a piss. Just that move, getting up and walking to the bathroom and back, kind of woke me up a little bit. So we'll try to do one more here. And we're at, shit, I was hoping it'd be at least 90,000. We're still a long ways to go. Normally I would like to be at 175,000, or 150,000 right now. I like to do at least 75,000 per day. So that I can max out at 500,000. How is it double honor from the objectives? Oh, wait. What is the AV weekend bonus? Double honor. The towers attendance. Well, when is the AV weekend? Okay, ×2 honor starting tomorrow midnight realm time in AV. Nice. So that's certainly going to help. If double honor starts tomorrow, it's not for kills or turn-ins. Double honor starting tomorrow midnight realm time. Where can we find this information? Let's turn to ChatGPT. In classic World of Warcraft, where can I find the announcement of Alterac Valley bonus honor weekends? Let's see if chat. Now we're actually using the advanced reasoning model, which is actually really good.
My phone, not just when I'm friends with my thoughts, not just when I'm gonna get caught, not just when I'm inside out.
Huge sneeze.
Not just when I'm outside it.
Huge sneeze.
Not just when I'm down by the lake. Might as well have my head on a stake. It's when I
3-week cycle. Orson Gulch, Morathi Basin, Altreich Valley, Orson Gulch. Every third weekend after the first date. We know the last one was the 15th, right? So it's every third weekend. It's 15th. So then it should be not the 5th. That doesn't make sense. So I thought 15 now. Fuck, I don't know. We need an add-on to tell us. When the fuck's AV weekend? Holy shit.
Something about the water running down my side. Caterpillar hatching in my chest.
You were so hungry.
Sinking in this
Well, at least I killed that bastard.
Feeling like a child, the bashment lives in me. Caterpillar hatching in my chest. Oh, I hate it when I'm not at my best. Is there something inside of me making me believe that black is white? Is there something I can't defeat? Maybe I should try and sleep tonight, sleep tonight.
Yeah, it's not gonna stun. He's gonna. Oh, it did get him. He had evasion up. I didn't think it'd land.
What's on your mind?
Safe travels.
It's The War Within. This is music from The War Within. You know the WoW expansion, The War Within? Yeah, let me go to pull up, because that was just one song. Let me pull up the playlist. So I have a War Within playlist, so here it is. You never heard? Oh, no, it's good. It's actually pretty good. The War Within actually has a good musical soundtrack. Also, Dragonflight has some good music as well. Shadowlands sucked. Shadowlands' music was not very good. Yeah, that's The War Within, and then here, let me play the Dragonflight site is better than The War Within, even, I think. Here we go. TBC, man, I'd have to go back and listen to it. I know TBC has some good music. I always thought the Wrath of Lich King had really good music. Wrath of Lich King has some good music. But actually, Dragonflight is better than The War Within. This what we're listening to right now is Dragonflight, and it's good. It's damn good. So here, check this out. This, I think, is a good way to... This is a good way to make money, and this is something I've always wanted to do, but I just didn't have the... I didn't have all the money to, like, sink into it, but I asked ChatGPT what would be good models of guitars to buy off Reverb and then turn around and sell them. You can see here it says, you know, Fender 70-79 Tele Strats. You know, the statement about the 70s quality is fading. Value is up to 45 to 48% since 2015, yet still half the cost of the pre-65. So I actually already knew this. I mean, if you go to Reverb and try to buy guitars from 50 to like 69, they're super expensive. So you're not going to get much of a turnaround. But these prices, like, because the 50 to 69 Fender guitars are so expensive, people are going to the next oldest guitars, which would be the 70s. And so these are still, like you can see, typical buy-in Reverb is, you know, $1.7K to $3,000. It's estimated in 3 to 5 years they'll be up 48%. But what's really interesting is the 1970-1981 Mustang, Fender Mustang Bass and Competition Mustang. It's estimated that these are going to go up 114 to 153% in value in 3 to 5 years. But if you have enough money and you have time to wait, you can make a shit ton of money, you know, buying and selling guitars. It's actually not even difficult to do, but you have to have patience and you have to have money, and you have to also be able to spot the fakes and spot, because you're going to get taken for a ride. I mean, there's people out there that are going to try to fool you. They might try to give you guitars they say are 100% original and they're not, and that's the worst part about buying used gear is if you try to buy something for like $3,000 and you're looking for like an all original guitar, and if all of a sudden it's not all original, they lie to you, you know, then when you try to resell that, you have to be honest about the fact that you got hosed. But it just depends. But that'd be something I always wanted to do was buy and sell gear, but I just don't think I would do it on an expensive basis. You know, that's why I bought this Squire guitar, because I'm really curious to see if it's as good as this guy says it is. If it is, I'm really curious to see how much appreciation it will have, because I think even Squires, especially the 2009 to 2016 classic vibes, are going to appreciate quite a bit, which isn't a lot of money because they only cost like, you know, $300 to $450 probably to buy, but I think they could double in price, you know, in probably about 5 years, maybe even less, maybe even 2 or 3 years. And if that's the case, you know, that's not a bad turnover, bad profit. I definitely have to go to bed after this. My stomach's hurting from all that coffee. I don't know if I remember all the Blood Elf music, but I'll definitely create a playlist from the Burning Crusade and check it out.
Destroy them.
No, we don't want ambience. We just want the soundtrack. Oh, he saw me.
Lovely. You can kiss your ass.
You were
goodbye.
screwed.
This fucking shaman's healing him. Of course, I would have annihilated the warrior if the shaman hadn't healed him. Ah, stupid shamans. This track's pretty good. This one's good. I like this one. That one's decent. Take a look at this one. Take a look at that one. Something some remaster. Alright, that'd be cool to just look at for the graphics. Song Woods, no. Serpent City. Oh. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's not something I could listen to a lot over and over again. See about Burning Crusade, best relaxing music. Oh, this is a mixture of multiple. That's World of Warcraft. No, I don't. No. Yeah, the Blood music's okay, but I could never like put that into a playlist because it's too. I've heard it too much. It doesn't work well. We need something that's a little bit less annoying. Like this here, this Dragonlance music's actually quite good. Was the Westfall thing? I've heard it too much. I couldn't do the Westfall just because I've heard it so much, you know. Yeah, most of the music in WoW I've just heard so much that I can't really, you know what I mean? To hear it over and over again in the background is just like too much. Where was that? I was really curious how I found those tombstones because that was so cool here. When he said the links must have pulled it up. There. Yeah, this one. I've been to this tombstone. And then there's a bunch more, though. Miller Cemetery, Ledford Catholic Cemetery. I've never been to that one. I've never been to that one. Never been to that one. But some of these I definitely like. I don't think I've been to that one either. Will Trail, William B. I think I've been to this one, though. Pretty sure I've been to this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been to that one. Because it's off the side of a road inside the park, I think. Yeah, see? Oh, it's well, maybe not. Maybe not. Some of these, though, are great. They're just like, you'll be walking out in the woods in the middle of nowhere and you'll stumble across these tombstones. You'll be like, what? Like these here, you know? Or even those other ones. It's interesting how they, like here, see how it's, how they did these bizarre shaped tombstones, or tombs. Like if you open this up, it's just, you know, there'd be a body down. And these are just like markers, right? They didn't have headstones. They were just markers that they put at the feet. Yeah, anyways, pretty cool. You only can't go anywhere near like those at night. Yeah, for sure, right? Yeah, Bitcoin's dropping a little bit now. What was it, the peak? There, look at it. Almost hit 112. I mean, it had to drop at some point. I'd fully expect Bitcoin will drop down to like, I think it'll drop back down to like 102. But I guess we'll find out. I'm surprised I did not expect it to go up this high tonight. So, what is that nonsense? Anyways, I'm definitely going to bed. I will catch you guys later. We didn't get as much as done as I wanted, but still, look, 3 hours and 50 minutes. And all we got was what, like 60,000 honor, 50,000 honor? It is not, it is slow going getting that honor, man. So we're almost at 100,000. We still need 400,000 honor before Tuesday. So that's 100, 200, 300, 400. So we have to basically do 400,000 honor each day for the next 4 days. Ugh. Oh wait, but they said the AV starts tomorrow night at midnight. So if that's true, if it is AV weekend, then I'll make that, you know, way easier. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.